Hey, Dinarland Ninja here. Today is Wednesday, July 17th, 2019, and this is some Dinarland highlights from July 16th. Okay, White Lion said, I think we are finally close enough to smell the roses for the first time in years. They have gotten their poo together. Did you see that CBI gave orders on what to do with the dollar when they come into the banks? They want dinar given in change. They are fighting to get the dollar off the streets. Caparoni said, we're all about the facts, truth, and learning the process and fundamentals of how monetary policy works and how it interacts with transitional economies. There is no arbitrary revaluation or reinstatement. The terms the gurus like to use, RV or RI, is all nonsense. This is not how monetary policy works. The CBI will follow strict rules. It will follow processes as well as rules from the processes from International Monetary Fund or the IMF. They use this information to design monetary policies to combat the effects of a growing economy. These are proven policies and techniques used by the other central banks all around the world. There have been a lot of things that are eye-popping. There have been a lot of progress over the last few months. The gurus like to constantly state an increase in the value of dinar will be some random overnight act. That will never happen. If the Iraqi dinar increases in value, it will be based on sound monetary policy and the world's participation in rebuilding the country. SAP, very insignificant IT company, is now in Iraq and expects Iraq's GDP to grow 8.1% in 2020. That is huge and 3 times the current GDP. We can only hope they are correct. Okay, now in Norste said, haven't had anything to say for a while, but now we're getting close, so let's get into it. And this is from an article. The Central Bank of Iraq on Thursday announced the foreign reserves rose to a total of $72 billion in the first half of 2019. And he said, how did they raise the reserves when the government was in a deficit situation? They managed to expand investment throughout the country, thus reducing somewhat their dependence on oil. This means dollar investment has in fact been coming in the country despite the fact that the dinar is not yet convertible in the international market. This is extremely good. Why? And they said once the investigators get a foothold in Iraq, they will come in droves to make money with the hopes they will be able to get their profits out the country in short order. This means there are now people willing to put their money where their mouth is. They are not just hoping for a floating dinar, they are counting on it. The fact that the CBI has managed to raise its reserves is a clear indication that the float is imminent. Only with a strong currency can they take the risk of moving to a float. With $71 billion in reserves, they have about 175% coverage of their entire money supply in hard currency. Thus, the dinar is one of the strongest currencies in the world despite its current low value. As the float begins, they will see the value of the dinar begin to rise. As it rises, they will reduce the money supply with the goal of getting it down to $40 billion dinar rather than $40 trillion dinar. Thus, at $1 per dinar, this is after the float has occurred, the CBI will still have 175% coverage of their money, meaning that the dinar could easily get back to $3.50 per dinar range, which is their ultimate goal. And that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in.